Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. Enjoying the cool temperature, guys. Let's see what we can get. Just throwing a crankbait, one of my Bombers suspending crankbaits. The problem is I can't remember where the grass line is. So we'll have to figure that out together. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name's Alan, and I enjoy making all kinds of fishing videos. And right now I'm throwing this suspending Bomber fat-free shad. I showed this the other night in the live stream. It's just an epic bait. So we're gonna fire this around out there and hopefully catch a few. Good stuff, good stuff. Man, it's perfect out here. It's like 40 degrees. Just a little bit of wind. Let me know what you guys are up to this weekend. Catching anything? What are you using? All that good stuff. Oh yeah, she suspends. That's perfect. A little bit of cabbage still on here. So I'm gonna be throwing this, some rattle traps, all the usual stuff. Come on, baby. I gotta show you guys where I'm standing. I'm like in the lake. You can kind of see around me there. I fished here before and cracked a couple. Did pretty well. I may move out to that rock right there. Fish a little bit out more towards the open. But I got my fishing boots on, so it's no big deal. Look at this, absolutely epic. This is where the 2021 Bassmaster Classic was held. I don't know if anybody made it back into this area, but this would be a good spot. So with this, once it gets down there, I just stop and let it do its thing. can hear the crows, but I can also hear coyotes off to the right. So we wanted to suspend a little bit, and then I just kind of sweeping pull through. What is that? Somebody kayaking way over there? Oh, that's cool. There we go. Just a couple of cranks, and just let it sit there. And hope this thing just gets clocked. It's a sweeping motion. Oh, I thought I had a strike, guys. Nothing on the fat-free shad, so now I'm throwing the Smithwick Perfect 10. Doing the same thing. Man, that looks good in the water. So this one, same deal. I just crank it down. And then just let it suspend. But what I do is, I'll check out that cormorant over there diving for bait fish. So what I'll do is, I'll just shake the rod tip. Just a little wiggle because it suspends, and then I'll kind of sweeping pull it. Let it sit there. That cormorant squawked when he dove under. There's some people over here camping that have got a dog, and when it barks, somewhere back in there a coyote starts yelping. Man, this thing is just epic. Anyway, so for my buddies up north, they're still frozen in. Some of them have been getting out a little bit. Just hang in there. Before too long, you'll be out there pre-spawn. We're about ready to hit the pre-spawn here. We're getting close. A couple weeks for sure. Guys, I'm telling you, Smithwick. Now we just need the hookup. Yep, this is where the Bassmaster Classic 2021 was held. And there was a lot of rain that year. Water would have been, I wouldn't be standing here. I would have been chest deep of water here. Guys were flipping into bushes, catching them. Go back and watch some of the highlights of that. They were fishing more towards the dam, way the heck over there. They were basing it out of Fort Worth. Probably should have based it out of I guess Fort Worth would have been right. I was going to say maybe Denton. They're about the same distance apart. Oh, please tell me that's a fish. No! I think I had one, guys, and I missed him, for crying out loud. That was it. Dang. How does he not get stuck with all those hooks? How did I miss him? Oh, dang it all. That was it, guys. Dang it. Got a nice one, guys, on the Bomber flat A, just right here off the dock. Man, he was just right in here. Oh, come here, old boy. Come here. Oh. Let's see, I'm gonna have to. Whew. There we go. There we go, guys, on the flat A. Oh, it's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys, just right off this dock here, he hit like straight down. Let's see if there's any other ones. I was just kind of letting it drift like that. It's this Bomber flat A. Oh man, it looks good. So I just crank and then I let it sit. And then sometimes I pull it like this, give it one good crank down again, and then just barely pull it. Or once I crank it down, I'll just wiggle the tip. They're still a little bit lethargic, so. There she comes, look at that. She just comes right up, look at that. Man, that's good stuff. So I was fishing way back in there, and then I moved out here, over here to the boat ramp. Not many people out here today. It's breezy, chilly. I think now we're like in the high 40s. You probably feel that wind, hear that wind. I should have weighed and measured that fish. I didn't even think about it. No buddies down there. All right, I'm gonna throw the Smithwick now for a little bit. A little bit of cabbage on there. Ooh. Here we go, the Smithwick Perfect 10. Let's see what we can get out of this guy. Same kind of deal. Crank, 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 crank. Let it suspend. Just heard a fish jump out there. This is a good color. I think it's called Golden Shiner. But down in the water, it just looks sick. Good stuff, good stuff. So these are the new colors by Frank Scalish, the great angler. Uncle Frank, as people know him. Alright guys, let's take a look at this. Now I don't for some reason my little laser mouse pointer thing isn't working. I'm wiggling my mouse, for some reason it's not showing up. But I'm going to focus on the Ray Roberts Johnson branch. The top of Ray Roberts. Down here, you can see at the bottom of the screen is a spillway. But we're going to take a look at this area right here for some bank fishing spots. Alright, so this area right here where I'm zooming in, you can see that point. That point is a great place to catch bass. Just walk out on it, depending on how high or low the water is. You can fish all through there. If the water level is low, you can walk all along the bank here and explore all these different spots to fish. Now the other spot I like to go to is right here. Here is the Kid Fish Pond. And if you notice, right in this area, there's like a pocket, a cove here. All in this cove here, there's some good crushed rock for crappie. I've caught lots of bass in there, and I've even walked all along this bank when the water's been low and fished all through here. This is where I caught the bass, right off of this top dock here, casting back towards the rock, the riprap, to the right of to the top and to the right up there. I've also cast it out towards open water and caught quite a few bass. And then down along this shoreline, I've caught a bunch of fish just walking the shoreline when the water's been low. Good stuff right there. Okay, there are some good spots down here. If the water is up but not too high, you can walk down in here to these little camping areas and fish off of those edges. But a lot of times it gets flooded out. Let's move down here to the big boat ramp. This is where I think the Bassmaster Classic launch point was. And here's all kinds of good spots to fish. So you have the main fishing pier here, but along the fishing pier on either side, you got riprap rock. And that's a good place to catch fish all year. They like to get in there and look for even white bass get in there, but you can see that that bank, that riprap, goes all the way up to the beach area. So you can fish that and have some good success doing that. And on the other side, there's this cove over here, and this cove is phenomenal for fishing. A lot of bass will get back in here to spawn, and there is some decent depth in here when the water is nice and high. If the water's low, forget it. And you can access that bottom bank here through the campsites. And there's some pretty good fishing there, and I like this choke point. For some reason, Google Earth with the reflection of the sun here, this looks terrible. But anyway, along that riprap, some good fishing. Along this area here too, any of these shorelines. Again, it depends on if there's high water, low water. But these points, excellent for bank fishing. All right, let's get down here. Some people manage to get along the rocks here, the dam. It's fenced off, but they can get in there on foot and they can walk over. But there's a lot of bluffs and cliffs here, so you got to be careful. But I have seen people fishing down in here with some good luck. Along this way, you can't really get there on foot. Along the main dam, it's too risky, too dangerous there, so I wouldn't advise that. But that's where you'll see a lot of guys fishing in boats, and they catch them. Here's the other side where it flows into the Trinity. There's a little bridge here. I've caught fish. Let me show you where the bridge is. I've caught fish all down in there on the river. Some good crappie. And then this area below, it's tough to get down in there, and if the water's low, it's terrible fishing, but if there's a lot of water, it's worth it. And then on the other side, you have the marinas. Try not to make you dizzy, I promise. The little marina area, the boat ramps. This is like the little marina thing, but up here, when the water's really good, there's some good bank fishing right out. Now the problem is you get a bunch of boats in and out of here all the time, but there's some good bank fishing there. There's one other spot I want to show you where Tioga is. You got some other ones over here, like in Pilot Point, that you can have access to. Down in here, another boat ramp is down there, and there's some good fishing. But up here, where this boat ramp is, it's got a steep incline. You can't see it, but once you get your boat dropped off, you got to come back up here and park. And there's the stairs. It goes way down there. I mean, it's a haul if you got to go back up. But all of this riprap along the shoreline here, this side is good fishing. And in this pocket back here, if you can get in there, it's hard to walk along there, but it's good fishing. When the water's low, you can walk along this bank, you can fish a bit. But this riprap where the train tracks is, it's too hard to get to. Unless you got a kayak, then it's perfect to get in there and you can fish along there. Catch quite a bit of crappie. Alright, so that's pretty much my rundown of it. So if you're looking for some easy spots to get in, yeah, you got to pay some money to get into the park, but who cares? It'll be worth it. I love, my favorite spot is just right here along the dock. Alright guys, that was just a breakdown. I'm no pro at this. These are just my observations. I'm sure there's tons more locations people can go, and they'll tell you where to go for bank fishing. But that's just the ones I like. This, and then the main riprap along the fishing pier. Everyone wants to get on the fishing pier, but they forget about fishing along the rocks there. And you get a good crankbait and just zip it along there, you can have some good luck. Check it out, guys. This was the Bomber Bait Company factory here in Gainesville, Texas. And I've filmed this before, but I'm here in town checking some stuff out. I used to teach here. Such a cool place. But there's the old factory right there. Man, when I was teaching here, I didn't really know much about Bomber. I could have gone to garage sales all over town hunting for old lures and stuff. Anyway, man, such a cool place.